vice and virtue back. And Gaza is burning. The Israelis are tough. These guys are hard built, they're real tough guys, you know? They're really defending themselves. They're really going out of their way to ensure that Israelis never get kidnapped again. Yeah, by bombing an unarmed civilian population, residential neighborhoods, and claiming through their owned media, their Zionist-owned media, that they're bombing Hamas militants. Yeah, sure, that little infant no older than 3 months is a Hamas militant. That old woman in a wheelchair is a Hamas militant. That little boy who's looking to have a bright future, live in peace, is a Hamas militant. Or who's throwing rocks at a tank, yeah, he's a Hamas militant. You know, that old man who can barely stand is a Hamas militant. Yeah, those are the people that you're bombing. The Hamas militants, those evil, kidnapping, murdering, filth, scum of the earth, right? So you gotta deploy your jets and your rocket launchers and bomb civilian populations to avenge the death of 3 Israeli teenagers. Yeah, Israel is tough, it's defending itself. The whole world needs to stand back or help Israel defend itself. Yeah, sure. I don't know how many people still believe that nonsense. Yeah, let me tell you something. You little Israeli people, young Israelis, it's not your fault that you have this hatred in your heart for the Palestinians, that you believe that they're trying to kill you and hurt you and kidnap you and murder you. It's not your fault. For generations, the Israelis and the media and this World Zionist organization, with the help of Western nations, have hardwired it into your system that the Palestinians on the other side of that wall, on either side, the Gazans, the West Bank Palestinians, they have you under the impression, hard-body belief that they are trying to kill you, that they are protecting you from them. Don't believe that nonsense. I don't care what you heard. It's been hardwired into your system for generations. For over 50 years, every generation has been taught to hate the Palestinians and to hate the Muslims, to hate the Arabs. Do they have any idea that Jews live within Arab borders? Do they have any idea that the Jews and the Palestinians live a peaceful, cordial life in Palestine before it was Israel, before the British unrightfully, unlawfully turned it into Israel? These people aren't out to get you because you're a young generation, you don't know any better. But your government knows. The people in your government know. The people in the PLO, Hamas, the Russians, the Germans, the Americans, the Africans, the South Africans, the British, they all know what happened. How Britain just occupied someone's land, annexed it off to Israel, to a group of Zionist organizers. And this was planned long before World War II. This wasn't about giving the people of the Jews of Europe a safe asylum and a land, a Jewish homeland. This was a Zionist operation. Your government is bombing innocent civilians. They're telling you that those rockets, those handmade rockets, are the greatest threat since the Cuban Missile Crisis, since the Russians with nukes Those little rockets that land in empty fields, those little rockets that explode in midair, those little rockets that fail to launch sometimes. Now, I'm not saying it's okay that those rockets or that they should be launched at Israel, not a civilian population at that. However, you have to understand that these people are losing their homes. You have to understand that Palestinians are being kidnapped. Children are in prison with adults, tried as adults, forced to confess to crimes they didn't commit. So the Palestinians are angry. Not too long ago, the Germans were doing to the Israelis, the Jews, what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. It's funny because Israel is afraid of every other nation in the world. They are afraid of the Palestinians. They're afraid of the Iranians. They're afraid of the Pakistanis. They're afraid of everybody because they know it's an illegitimate nation. It's not about not recognizing it as a nation. Of course, it's not a legal nation. I wouldn't recognize it. I don't recognize it. I call Palestine Palestine. Israel is an illegal occupying force. Fact of the matter is, what's been going on is a bunch of reprisals, collective punishment, murder, kidnapping. Your government is kicking people out of their homes, demolishing it, and then building Israeli settlements on it illegally and knowingly that it's illegal. The world stands by, condemns it verbally. The United States, we stand back. We have to defend Israel at all costs, no matter what. Yeah, good job, Barack. Good job, Bush. And every other president since Truman. Good job. Jimmy Carter put in an effort to create peace in that region. So I'll salute you, sir. However, it is not the United States' priority to keep sending Israel $3 billion a year or military supplies. It's not our job. We have Detroit is suffering. People in the United States are suffering. Losing homes. I mean, goodness, man. Why is every college student in debt? We could have had a free 4-year scholarship to any university in the United States, but we chose to go to war with Iraq. We chose to give money to Israel and other nations. Yeah, man. Israel is over there committing all these crazy wild war crimes. But when Nazi Germany did it, the United States wasn't interested in getting involved in World War II. However, you got a bunch of bankers in the World Zionist Organization to come together, and they brought the U.S. into the war. They paid us. Netanyahu, you're a scum. Barack Obama, you're scum. And every other politician that sits by and lets this happen is scum. To the Muslims out there, the leaders of the Muslim nations out there who are just sitting by and letting this happen, not organizing any kind of operation for peace, no type of agreements, no plea, no bargain, no nothing. You're just sitting by letting it happen. Yes, I'm not even going to say it. It's Ramadan. Most of you are probably Muslims, or at least you claim La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So I can't say anything bad about you, except that you need to reconsider your position on the matter. Your brothers and sisters are dying. The little baby Muslims are dying. Their flesh is being blown off of their bones. Their skin's being burned. They're being arrested and detained. Their water's being poisoned. we sit back and do nothing. You have ISIS out there, ISIS, and then their so-called Khalifa. Now, I don't know about these guys. I don't know what they stand for or who they stand for. But if you guys want to go around killing Iraqis, I can't take you seriously. The Palestinians are dying right under your noses. You're killing Iraqis, other Muslims. Yeah. Syrians, the FSA. I don't know too much about you guys except that you claim to be fighting against a regime that is oppressive. Okay, I can respect that. But right next door, Palestinians are dying. I know a lot of Muslims want to be able to pack up and go over there and help them. But it's not as simple as it sounds.